In this video, I'll quickly show you types of errors in Microsoft Excel. So the first one is div 0. So this occurs when you attempt to divide a number by 0. For example, in this case, when I decide to divide 25 by 0, it's going to give me an error because there is no division by 0. So it gives me the div 0. So it is a division error in Microsoft Excel. Second one is value. It happens when a formula uses inappropriate data type. For example, you decide to just use a number or a text for division. In this case, I want to use Apple. Instead of using 13, I'm dividing that cell by a number. So it's going to give me that particular error. The value is not correct. That means the data type is not correct. The third one is NA, so not available. It occurs when a value is not found in a lookup formula. So for example, in the VLOOKUP formula we did the other time, you can see a series of NA there. It means when you search within a master sheet, for example, I'm searching lemon within another sheet and the value is not found there, it's going to return NA, which is not found. You can see the result of lemon in this case. So let's go to the fourth error. So the fourth error will show us reference. So when you call a reference, a cell reference is not valid, so it gives you the error. So if you are referencing a cell, you click on the cell in a formula. So but in this case, in my VLOOKUP formula, I'm using B to B as my reference. But when I insert another cell or another column before the column, it's going to change the referencing from B to B to C to C. So yeah, let's go to the next one, name. When a function or formula is not recognized. So you know all these formulas are inbuilt in Excel. So it's going to give us that error if we enter an invalid formula. Now sum is embedded, so this one should give us the appropriate result. Sum C2 to C3, but if I remove the hem, I just put SU. Excel doesn't know what that formula is, so it gives me a name error. So the next one is num. So this error occurs when you use an invalid numerical value in a formula, like taking the square root of a negative number. You know, there's no square root of a negative number. So when we try to do a square root of -9, for example, it's going to give us that particular error because it should always be positive. Now, num is when, okay, I know which is the last one, when there is a space within a formula that needs a separator. You know, sum, you can do sum of various cells and use a separator in between there. For example, in this case, when I say sum C2 to C4 and I still want to sum another cell, again, C7 to C10, there should be a separator, so Excel recognizes separator. But if I remove that and I just leave it there, it's going to cause confusion within the system and it's going to generate that particular error, which is no error. So those are some of the examples of the errors you will encounter. So feel free to be able to change and correct your formulas as a
So here's how to correct wrong emails with Microsoft Excel. My first column has a lot of wrong emails with different errors in it. So what I just do is to look through the emails and see familiar domains in it. So some of them have Hotmail, some have Outlook, Yahoo, and Gmail. So I created 4 different columns to hold different emails for each of the domains. So the first one is Hotmail. You can see I have search function in there. What I want to do is to search if any of the email has HOT. So I'll be getting, search function returns the position of that text within my email. So it's going to return a number to me. So any email that has a number returned definitely has HOT within it. So the next function I'll be using is the is number. So I just want to have a boolean, either true or false, returned to me, so I will know if it indeed true is for Hotmail, false is not an Hotmail. So you can see, because it has HOT in it and I've put is number there, it returned true. So I'll be doing likewise for Yahoo Mail as well. If you look through the examples of the emails I have, I will look for similar patterns within the Yahoo emails in there. So the common text that they have is what I'll be searching for. So I copied the formula from Hotmail, and I'm going to paste this into the column of for Yahoo. So I'm going to change HOT now to the common text within the Yahoo Mail. So I'm going to be using YAH. So because I've looked through the email addresses, I can see that most of them started with YAH. That's why I decided to use that as a sample. If you don't have YAH in all the Yahoo mails, please use similar text within there so that you have adequate results. Yeah, so you can see those ones that looks like Yahoo has returned true using the same number. So for the Outlook and Gmail email addresses, I use @O for Outlook and I use @G because some of them didn't start with the same pattern. So what was consistent is @O and @G. So the next thing I did was to sort the Hotmail column in ascending order so that the true values will be together. And this is the formula I'll be using to replace the errors with the right domain. For Hotmail, I'm using replace, of course. So replace within A15, then the start number will be the position of heart. Yes, so that's why I'm using search, because I don't know the position because the length varies. So I'm going to search at within A15. The start number will be 1. So it's going to return the position of at for me, and that will be my starting position within the replace formula. So the next thing is to specify the number of characters within the replace formula. So how do I know it? Because the length varies, of course. So I'm going to search or find the length of the entire text. And I'm going to be subtracting the position of heart within that text. And that's going to give me the remaining characters to replace. So that will give me the numbers of characters to replace. This is just because most of the texts are varying lengths. So we have to use this formula. So it's going to, the search character is you search at within A15, and the start position is 1, of course. So length of A15 minus the position of heart. Then for me to include at within this formula, I'm going to add 1 to it. So it's going to start from at to the end of the text. So I'll put +1 within my formula now. Yes, so don't forget we are still within the replace formula. We are having a subset of formula within the replace. So the next thing is the number of characters I want to, or the characters I want to replace with. And of course, I'm going to use @Hotmail for this set of emails. You can see it's returned the right emails for me. So I'll just copy this to the true values within my column, and you will see it's going to return the right email address. Yeah, there you go. So basically we use the replace formula for this, and I'm going to copy it down to the rest of the true values, and you will see the results. Voila, we have the right email addresses. And I'm going to replicate this for the other domain as well. I'm going to sort the column in ascending order.